Hear the Mara's calling. Hear the Mara's calling. Oh, I hear the Mara's calling. Gotta live our karma too. I can't stop the dogs of war. No, I can't stop the dogs of war. Namo Amida Butsu. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are, in whichever realms of existence you are. Welcome, whatever state of mind, whatever condition you're in. Welcome to my channel. And I hope you'll forgive the little intro there to my video today. Definitely fitting, and I definitely couldn't resist a little Buddhist version of that blues Saraceno song. But I hope you forgive that as well. And I hope he'll forgive my my changing of the lyrics to fit more of a Buddhist vibe. Anyway, so yeah, just wanted to talk today about samsara and Mappo. It's like, hey, war is on. It's on now. We knew it was coming. I mean, you knew it was eventually going to be happening, in the near future. And here it is. It's starting. It's all on. It's all on in with Russia and Ukraine, and soon it's going to be all on with China and Taiwan and all of that, and it's all going to be on. World War is coming, and more pandemics are coming. I mean, if you can't see that, if you can't see that the previous pandemic was that's analogous to a trial run. That just got us ready. That just got us ready for the real nasty, killer, deadly pandemics that are coming. I don't know what to tell you if you can't see that. And then it's going to be famine and everything else, everything that goes with Mappo. If you're a Buddhist, any Buddhist that understands, whether you're a Jodoshinchu Buddhist or any other kind of Buddhist, any Buddhist that understands, the teachings about the temporal cosmological teachings about, ascending and descending kalpas, and understands the teaching about the 3 ages of the Dharma, and that we're in Mappo. Any Buddhist must understand that. So they must. It should. So anyone who truly understands what Mappo is about, or at least has some inkling of what is going to be happening in Mappo, knows that that's going to be part of it. It's going to be wars, famine, pandemics, violence, all sorts of stuff going on. And if you're a Buddhist and you don't, and you embrace the teaching of Mappo and you don't get that, and you're like surprised and upset about that these things are happening, I just don't even know what to say to that. We're living in the worst time, beginnings of the worst times. Well, actually, Shinran and Honen were living in the beginnings of the worst times. So we're however many, we're almost we're hundreds of years later into that worst time of Mappo. So it's it's gonna be what it's gonna be, folks. And I've gotten to the point where I just underlyingly am not invested in any of it. I just I just not because I'm not because I'm any great practitioner or anything, or that I have any kind of special, perception or anything like that. I just, or any detachment or anything like that. It's just that, you get worn down by it, and I'm not. This isn't a pity party here. This isn't. Definitely don't misinterpret this as any kind of pity party. I accept my karma. I accept I deserve to be here. I deserve to be in Mappo. I deserve the life that I've had that, has been pretty screwed up in a lot of ways. It's been a mixture. It's been quite a mixture of things: the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. But that mixture has been pretty screwed up, and and all kinds of suffering. And again, I'm not looking for a pity. I'm not having a pity party with myself. I accept that. I accept that that's life. That's my karma. And this is our collective karma, being in Mappo in these times. But you live in that long enough, and then at some point when you encounter the Buddha Dharma and you begin to embrace the teachings, and then eventually the teachings of the three ages of the Dharma, and the ascending and descending kalpas, and Jodo Shinshu, you just, I don't know, it's every day I just have less sense of investment in it. It's just not real. None of it's real. None of it's very, very worth anything, other than being born as a human, other than being, other than utilizing your rare human birth to go quickly to Pure Land, to become a Buddha by Amida Buddha's power through going to his Pure Land. Other than that, there's not much. There's not much, that is gonna go well. There's not much that is worth investing in. There's not much that's worth investing time or energy or thought or other than that, for me anyway. And that's just, I came to that point quite a while ago, actually. I'd say at least 20 years ago, where I really kind of got to that point where I was like, yeah, there's just, where I came conscious of it. I think in the 90s I was getting there. I was kind of on getting there, back and forth on my way to come into that conclusion. But I came to that conclusion quite strongly, like I said, over 20 years ago, really, I would say, or at least 20 years ago. I'd say probably about 20 years ago. Now that I think about it, when I think about the moment I'm thinking of where I just, it finally hit me, various factors throughout my life, various things about my life, about me, about how things had gone, and then in the context of, Buddhism, more or less, and since then it's only grown. That sense of, there's just nothing real about this. It's all a dream, and there's nothing worth investing in other than the Buddha Dharma and other than the Amida Dharma. is what I eventually have come to. Out of all the Buddhist paths and teachings, for me, that is the only thing that's worth investing in. My time, my energy, my thought, my, now I do, yeah, sure, I have karmic ties to many people and many beings, and I do look after my family and my wife and my pets and my and my job, and I'm responsible, and I do care about all of that. I do care about them, but it's by degrees. I've talked about that before, and I do accept that it's just because I see it's unreal and that it's not worth investing in, doesn't mean I should just be immoral and give up and don't do anything. And I'm still supposed to try to be moral. I'm still supposed to, and not just, and I don't go into nihilism because of that. Like, just give up and just drink or eat or whatever, whatever. Pick your hedonism. I don't think that, just because it's a dream is not real, and that you should just give up and just do that and give in to your blind passions, even though we can't really fight them, even though we have very limited capacity for even knowing what they're about and dealing with them. So, but we should still, like Shinran says, we should don't take the poison just because we have the antidote, so I'm very much in line with that, but it is, but other than that, it's just not real. It's just not worth it. It's not anything that is really important to me, other than the Buddha Dharma, other than Amida, other than Jodo Shinshu, other than, the Dharma brothers and sisters, other than going to Pure Land. That's it. That's the only thing, and having, the rare human birth. That's about it. That's about the only things that are any good, really, to me, or any or of any real value to me, I should say. And it comes about. That all comes about. Like I said, I obviously Amida is, Amida's light is how I see that, began to be able to see that in this life. But in terms of my own experience, the experiences I've had, you at a certain point, you just, for me anyway, I just gave up. I gave up on trying really to be a part of it in the way that you're kind of taught by society and family and the media or whatever other institutions or tradition or whatever, that how you're supposed to act or what you're supposed to do or how you're supposed to be. I sort of gave up on all that, and just went the way I went with it. I just gave up on trying to I tried to follow those rules and all those and tried to live by all those the things that you're kind of programmed with, the things you're kind of taught by society and family and tradition and stuff. I did try to embrace them and tried to do them. I tried to be part of them, but I always failed. I always failed. I always failed, and all the social things and all the, and having friends and having those relationships and with family and friends and coworkers and whatever. I always was a failure at that, really. I always didn't, now I've said this before too, if you've talked to other people that know me, they'd be like, well, what are you talking about, man? You're like very appropriate, you're very respected, you're really, you're funny, yada, 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 what are you talking about? But they don't know me inwardly. They don't know what my life is. They don't know my karmic condition. And I don't mean, oh, I'm so misunderstood. I don't mean it in that way at all. I have no, there's no pity, there's no pity parties here. I deserve what's, what's come about in my life. I've deserved, how it's gone. And I'm just grateful that, I had the karmic causes to be born into a rare human birth, so I could, however bad it's been, however screwed up it's been, however a failure I've been in different walks of life, I am grateful for my human birth, and grateful for because the reason I'm grateful for the rare human birth is because I was able to, through being human and in my karmic causes, good from the past and of Amida, in my past, I was able to encounter the Buddha Dharma, and then eventually the Pure Land Dharma, and then eventually Jodo Shinshu. But it's just, you just get to a point where you're just like, okay, I just accept my limitations. I accept this is what I am. I just, and again, it's not a oh poor me. It's just let's be realistic about our karma. Let's just be realistic about not only my karma, but the collective karma that we're in, of what we're in here in Mappo. Not only is my karma what it is, but I live in Mappo. What do you expect? I don't expect a lot. I don't expect a lot of myself or others, frankly, in this existence, in this samsaric Mappo life. I just don't. It's I'm trying to explain, it's really like an everyday thing for me. When I sit down to do whatever I'm doing, not always conscious of it, a lot of the time I am, and I just am like, what am I doing here? What is this? And I try to just be grateful. I try to just be grateful for what I have. I try to just be grateful that I have a job, and that we have a nice home, and that we have I have a good wife. I've had, my family's been my family, but that is my biological family, but could be worse. I've had, in a lot of ways it was pretty bad actually, but I won't get into that in this video. But I try to be grateful for my everyday activities, and I try to just instead of thinking about it all too much, I just try to put myself into that, get into my daily routine, which I'm really grateful for, to have that, to the work, and then the home. I do the sort of jobs at night, when I have my whole sort of routine that I do the jobs around the house for us, all this sort of domesticities around the house, and then and I do enjoy that. I do, and that's not in a celebratory sense or anything, just in a, well, at least I have this, at least I can just do this. And then, at the weekends we do things where we live, the part of the country we live in. It's quite beautiful now, and well, not now. I mean, where we live now. I mean, it's quite beautiful here, and we can, we can just take little trips at the weekend and all of that. So, life is good in all those senses, but it's Mappo. It's still Mappo, and it's still not real. The only thing that real is Amida, as Nembutsu is the path, is the practice that Amida has given us, is the Nembutsu that Amida has given us, is the vow of Amida, is his dharma, his mind, his light. That's what's real. That's the only real thing that I can latch onto and focus on. All the rest of this is just what it is. It is what it is, and it is Mappo. So yeah, and I also want to come back to talking about it. I'm grateful actually for on the other side of this, I'm grateful for the sufferings of my life, because it has motivated me to, motivated me to seek out the Buddha Dharma and then the Amida Dharma. It's motivated me to stick with it too. This past 15 years of back and forth, and but it's the suffering and knowing I'm in Mappo and understanding that teaching, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that. That keeps me here, keeps me coming back to the path. And it's only going to get worse. I mean, it might get better. It goes in those mini cycles. Just like all kalpas going up and down. The broader, longer kalpas go up and down. We have the mini cycles too, but on the whole, it's just going to go. It's going to keep going down. Like it'll be, I've talked about that before too. It might go up and then down, but then the up is still down here, and then down a bit more, and up again. So you see what I mean? It's on the whole, on the mean, it's going to keep going down, and so there's going to be more war. I mean, we're going to have. Here it is. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a prognosticator or anything, nor do I rely on any prognosticators, but it is looking like, all the conditions are here. All the conditions are here for a world war. The stage is set in every freaking way for it to happen. So it's gonna happen, and it's again in a weird way I'm grateful for that, because it motivates me all the more. Like, keep on this path, man. Keep deep listening. Because you just don't have time. You don't have time. If you're living in Mappo, you don't have time. We don't have time, man. We don't have time. Pandemics, world war, famine. The society is going to degenerate at some point. It's going to civilization's going to, crumble. It's already happened with other, with various, it's been cycling and happening for a long time, obviously. But like even in more recent history, we've all kinds of societies have collapsed, and it's just going to keep going that way. It's just going to be heading that way, and more sort of authoritarianism is going to arise, and corrupt rulers. They're already, the rulers of this world are already completely corrupt and incompetent and horrible people, by and large. There's some good, there's some decent and good people in there, but on the whole, we're ruled over by totally corrupt and the people on the lower echelons of power that are like their minions are just manipulated and controlled by them through corruption and through all sorts of stuff. They're just, I mean, we're basically ruled by psychopaths, sociopaths, pedophiles, you name it. That's it. That's the way it is. That's it. And it's just going to get worse. And they're going to try their big little, they're going to try their, whatever they're going to try in the next 10 years, through all this crap, through their program of what is it, problem reaction solution, and false flags and war and all kinds of stuff. And they're going to pretend, oh yeah, it's global warming, it's climate change, even though climate change is going to happen anyway, no matter how highly advanced technology was. I'm not saying we don't affect that. I'm not saying we don't pollute, and we're not like assholes toward the earth and the environment and stuff. Like we're just shitty about that. We're crap. And delusional about stopping ourselves from being crap about that. But the climate change was going to happen anyway. What they're talking about, they just want to control everything. They're just trying to collapse and control and reset and try to bring it all under there. And they're just trying to consolidate their power. It's just all about them consolidating their power. And and that's a part of Mappo. That's who. If you have the karma like me, and you have and you're here and you're listening to this, you must have similar karma to me and be more in Mappo if you're a human, and that's our fault. It's our fault. It's our fault that we're in this world, that we have these leaders that we have. It's partly our fault, individually and collectively. That's just the way it is, and they're gonna it's just gonna keep going in that direction, until it all sort of just collapses, until it all just sort of falls apart. They're going to keep trying to consolidate their power, like I was saying, and under all their petty and big dictatorships and authoritarian and managed and further managed. We're already in managed democracies. We're just going to be more and more managed in our so-called quote-unquote democracies. And then, eventually they'll just they're already getting rid of any semblance of democracy. So just, you can kiss democracy goodbye in Mappo, and then eventually, however long it takes, they consolidate their power. It's going to fall apart. It just is, eventually it just will. And it'll just be collapsed civilization everywhere, and it'll just be roaming bands and freaking, all kinds of horrid stuff. Slavery, even more slavery than there already is. There's slavery. Slavery never stopped, just different forms of slavery, I don't mean just in America, I mean worldwide type. Everything's just, slavery is just, that never stopped. Anyway, oh yeah, more genocide. There'll be more genocide. There'll be more everything. That is Mappo, man. And so what I'm trying to say by all this is we don't have time. We don't have time. We're living in Mappo, we don't have time. You don't have time to figure out, can I do this Buddhist path or that Buddhist path? You don't have time. That time's over. It was gone before you were born, probably, It's gone before we were born in this lifetime as humans. And it took me a while to wake up to that. And I'm still waking up to it. I'm still, my monkey mind is still, the Planet of the Apes is still trying to figure out a way to do some other Buddhist practice, It's just insane. It's insane. It's total insanity. I don't have time. I need to entrust to Amida. There's no time. There's no time. If I want to utilize this human birth to the fullest, if I want to have this, take this opportunity, this rare opportunity, like inconceivably rare opportunity as a human, to become a Buddha through Amida Buddha's power. If that's what I want, if my aspiration is to become a Buddha, then there's not any time I need to entrust to Amida. So that's the simple facts. That's simple it. I just need to trust to Amida, and you do too. You do too. We don't have time. You don't have time. There's just going to be mass death in the next, besides even just our individual karma, you never know when you're going to die of cancer or other disease. And that's another thing. There's going to be more diseases, going to be more malnutrition, food. Oh yeah, food is going to lose. This is another thing about this period of Mappo for the next 10,000 years. Food is going to lose its nutritional value and taste and smell even. It's going to just be horrible, and it already is. You can already see that with food. We've already screwed up food so badly with our genetic bullshit manipulations, and so food is already, and the way in our agricultural, so-called advanced agriculture, it's just like we just screwed up food so badly, and eventually that's going to just, the food supply is just going to be screwed, so if you don't just die of your own I think I'm going to go this way for a bit. If you don't just die of your own karmic causes of, individual diseases, cancer, whatever, kidney failure, liver disease, whatever, parasites, then there's world war, famine, starvation, political, prisoners, because you'll be imprisoned and into concentration camps, and die in there, or or just die because of the wars, or die because of the next pandemics. Like, chances are in the next, I don't know, again, I'm not I don't know this stuff for sure, but in the near future, a lot of people are going to be dying. A lot of people are going to be dying in the near future. So it's just best that we get on with it. Get on with the Jodo Shinshu path, and entrust to Amida. There's not really anything else. There's not another option. And we better do it quick. If we're gonna do it, better get on with it. Better do it quick, because we can't stop the dogs of war. No, I can't stop the dogs of war. Namo Amida Butsu.